Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cities, Skylines Natural Disasters and Tornado Country. I hope you're having a wonderful day because the people of Pepper Lake are having a reasonably good time. All 212,000 of them. We're making about $23,000 per week. I was going to say per day, but I'm pretty sure that is per week. Yeah, that's the weekly income of the city, and things are going relatively well. We do currently have a pretty large area of office zoning laid out just in and around here that I would absolutely love to fill up in this episode. I'd also absolutely love to fill up all of this space in here in this episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to zone all of that right away, because as time progresses, it will eventually all fill up, and that's kind of what we're going for. We want this all to be residential. Some of it could maybe be commercial. Maybe these areas over here can have a little bit of commercial zoning, but in there we're going to want some residential as well. And my thinking and my hope is that these areas will be enough to bring the population up substantially, because we aren't that far off of our goal of 260,000 people in Pepper Lake. So I reckon this area here, all of this zoning, is absolutely going to be enough to bring the population up to that much sought after number. So what I'm going to do to sort of incentivize that growth is I'm going to add in some parks. I'm going to make the area just a bit more pleasant. I'm going to make it a nice place to be. So we'll start with a Japanese garden just there, which those people are hopefully going to love. We could throw a botanical garden in there, actually, which I'm very tempted to do. I could throw one there as well, which I think I might do instead, since it's a little bit further away from the Japanese garden. Then some spaces over here could maybe have a botanical garden too. Maybe there could have one. In fact, let's do two. Let's do two botanical gardens just like that. And what I'm going to do is actually de-zone the areas around them so that we can have a little bit of fun with the design on these. So what I'm thinking is that down this side, we're going to do a pedestrian path, and then the same on this one, just like so. And we could actually zone the space next to them, I suppose. We'll do something like this just to decorate that side as well, so it looks a little bit interesting. And then I think, you know what, we will go ahead and just zone that space there and that space there. So we have two botanical gardens right in the middle of this area. They are facing different directions, but that's probably fine. It's a bit weird looking, but it'll do the job, and hopefully bring up the leisure and land value of that area and the desirability of that area. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. We shall certainly see what happens. Now, this area here is actually not as bad as it has been. I mean, traffic's still backing up as it does, but I mean, for the most part, it's doing okay. I think that's fair to say. For the most part, it's doing all right. I would like to look at speed limits, though, because I realize this road is 60. This one's 50. So this one should probably be set to 60 as well. Just the whole way along there. Just set it to 60 so that it actually matches the speed of the roads that lead on to it. I think that might be a little bit of a help there. Obviously, these roads at the sides are 80 miles per hour. I might drop those down to 60 as well, just since it kind of does make sense. So we'll go ahead and turn all of these into, you know, 60 mile per hour roads. It looks like there's a bit in the middle that's going to need that as well. What is that? What is this bit in the middle that needs to be 60? I'll set it to 60. I don't know what that is, though. I'll set all these roads to 60 kilometers as well, I would assume. And then finally just the roads over on this side as well, to make sure everyone is going at a reasonable speed limit. There we go. So that's hopefully going to help things just a little bit. And if we have ourselves a little look over this way, it is, for the most part, definitely slowly filling up, which is good. So while that's going on, why does my voice keeps doing this thing today? It's interesting. I know my voice has... Okay, so real talk for a second. I know that my voice is sort of like Marmite to a lot of people. You either like it or you really don't. But today, more so than usual, it's doing that like high-pitched inflection that it usually does, that whole, like, well, like that thing. I don't know why it's doing more of that, but it's doing more of that. Anyway, that one was intentional. I would like to put a little bit of a focus, perhaps, on getting the fusion power plant into the city. So we're going to get the tax office so that we can get to work on that. Now, the tax office is this little building, which would actually fit quite nicely in an area like that. Although I'm thinking maybe putting it over here could be an idea. Just possibly. We could definitely do with a nice area for the tax office. I just don't really know what that area would be. Perhaps we just put it there, just like that, and we'll not worry about it because it really doesn't matter. I will put another crematorium just back there, though, just for the sake of it, to provide a little bit more coverage to that area. So we have the tax office. What else are we going to be needing? We are going to be needing the observatory. Interesting. The observatory is something I always like putting in like a proper spot, and technically speaking, the observatory here should be like up there. And I think, you know what, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get ourselves a little bit of a dirt road coming all the way up here for the observatory. So we'll do that, and then we'll get the observatory itself just like so. Then we'll bring the road sort of around it like this. Maybe going a little bit further so I can get the road right up against it. There we go. And then I think I am just going to slowly bring that down the hill, and I don't really know where to connect it. But I think, for the most part, we'll just go ahead and bring it down here. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. And bring it along that ridge, just like that. And connect it to that junction, maybe? It seems a little bit silly that there would be, like, this massively dense city, and then suddenly, nothing. It's kind of interesting looking. Maybe that would be an excuse to get a suburb in here, though. I mean, that's something people have been asking for a lot with this series, is for me to build a suburb, which I've always sort of been against, because like I've said every time, the point is that we get density. So maybe what we'll do is, after we've got the 260,000 people, we could maybe look into getting, you know, maybe we could go for like 300,000 people or something. And maybe at that point we could look into getting, you know, some suburbs out into this space or something. I don't know, but that's just an idea. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not promising anything. What else do we need here? The Fountain of Life and Death. I do believe that's this one. No, that's the Plaza of the Dead. That's the Statue of Shopping. That's it. Fountain of Life and Death. Yes. So it can go into this space over here. Since it might as well. So I'll throw it just in there. And then bring some paths around it so we don't end up with some weird zoning on the back end of it there. So that looks okay to me. We are also going to need to get our hands on the Science Center, which is one of the bigger buildings in here. I believe it's that one. Yes, it is. Science Center, like I said, one of the bigger buildings, but I reckon I could get it in over here. Yes, I could. And I think I will, because that's actually going to look pretty cool right by the highway. I like it. I do. Absolutely like it. What else do we need? We need the MAM Modern Art Museum, which is not the nicest building. We've got the Grand Library there. We have the Modern Art Museum there. That's it. So I do believe this is a bit of a smaller building, yeah. So that could go there. It can't go there, unfortunately. Do I want to throw it there? That's definitely an option. What if we throw it down, like, here somewhere? That could work. Or just more central. Let's just throw it there. There we go. Modern Art Museum right in the heart of this area. Certainly an interesting location for it, but we're not really interested in getting all these perfect locations. We do need the Plaza of the Dead, which is this one, which can go, I'm going to say there. Then hopefully that's the last thing we're going to need for the fusion reactor. It is beautiful. Let's go ahead then and throw the fusion. Actually, you know what? Pause the game for a second. I would like to bulldoze all of these because they're all a little bit unnecessary at this point. Same with those. Then the fusion reactor, which is fairly expensive and 8,000 per week, can go right there. And let's see, is that going to save us money? is my question. I don't know if it is. It might. I mean, how many of these did we have? We had a lot of these. So those are... Yeah, we are probably saving money with the fusion reactor, especially since, yeah, those are 8,000 a week each. So that's not bad. That's power for the city, and I really can't complain about that. Beautiful. Okay. I would like to look in here for a second, because what is this? This is the Pyramid of Safety. Have a disaster hit the city with no casualties. Okay. So what does this look like? I've never actually seen the Pyramid of Safety. So, where are we going to put it, is my question. I'm sort of thinking one of these areas over here. But, I feel like it would make more sense having it relatively... Well, I was going to say central. What about up there? This area is kind of miserable. These people aren't very happy, so Pyramid of Safety can go right there. There you go, lads. Enjoy your Pyramid of Safety. It is actually quite nice looking, to be honest. And you do sort of see it on the highway. You can look out to your left and, oh, look, there's a pyramid. I mean, it's a bit small. You don't really see it all that much, but... Oh, you can actually see down into it as well. That's interesting. That goes down there a bit, doesn't it? What is that supposed to be? So, it commemorates how disaster hit the city with no lives lost. I don't know what it is, but I like it. It's definitely an interesting building. Do we have any more of those? I mean, obviously we have the Grand Library. We have the aquarium, but is there, I mean... Yeah, there's the Sparkly Unicorn Rainbow Park, which is win all 5... No, we're not going to be doing that. We have the Sphinx of Scenarios, which is win any 3 scenarios. We have this, which is the Helicopter Park, which I think is kind of interesting, and I might throw it over here, because that seems like a good place for the Helicopter Park to be. So, Helicopter Park could go... Well, it can't go there, but it could go there. Which is tempting. Or it could go here, actually. Although the space is already occupied. Hold up. Space is no longer occupied. Let's get the Helicopter Park right there. That actually looks pretty cool. Sort of. What is... Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay, it's a bird that's holding the rotor blades of a helicopter in its beak. I was really confused about that, but no, that's kind of artsy, I suppose. It's fairly artsy, I guess. We can't get the disaster memorial because that's experience a tsunami, and we can get the meteorite park, which is certainly an interesting one, but I think I'll throw it in there because why not? There we go. Got a meteorite right there, heart of the city. That's where it landed, and we built a park around it. That's what we did. Okay, so we're making $57,000 per week. That's kind of ridiculous. Although I think, have we ever made more than that in a week? I don't know. I'm not really sure if we have. But I honestly didn't think that adding in a fusion power plant and all of the things that I have been adding would result in me saving money. That wasn't really something I expected to happen, but, well, the more you know. I do think it might be an idea to look into getting a metro system for this area over here. So let's go ahead and start laying that out. So we'll get a station there. We're gonna get a station there. I'm very tempted to get one sort of in the middle. Because why not? We'll get a station. We could get one back there to get rid of that building, but that seems a little bit unnecessary. I can actually get a station under there, which I'm going to do, because that's an interesting place for one. I'm also going to get a station there. And then I think I want to get one sort of down here somewhere, if at all possible. So get me a station there. This is going to be an interesting layout, this one. Then there. On that corner. On that corner. And then it's probably worth having one there as well. So let's connect this all up and see what way this one's going to work and see just how angry people get at this layout. So that connects around like that. That connects over to there. This does a fairly sharp turn that way. That's fine. You know, trains can do this. This is a perfectly realistic and not at all unreasonable layout for a metro system. I don't know what you're talking about. You wouldn't get whiplash from this. Well, actually, to be fair, in real life, you wouldn't get whiplash from this because this wouldn't work. So, I'm not wrong. I'm just also not really right in what I'm doing. I think that's fair to say. So, if we just connect all of these together, we can get some trains running around that area. It's not necessarily the typical layout. I mean, it's not perfectly going around the area, but I think that's probably fine for that space. It probably does the job. And if needs be, you know, I mean, people are already sort of crossing the road here for one reason or another. I don't know if it is actually for the trains, but I can dream. I can dream. Although what I would like to do actually is this. Okay, never mind. That's a bit too steep. Interesting. Can I get that to work at all? Does that work? Nope. Alright. Let's bring that down a little bit. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That does. Okay. Does that cross the road, though? It doesn't really seem like it, does it? Doesn't really seem like it. That does, though. Which is nice. So that would go there, and then that would go down. But that's too steep. How did that other one work? That other one's sort of just as steep, if not steeper. Okay, never mind then. So I can't have me, I can't do me bridge. I kind of wanted to do the bridge. Not gonna let me though. And it's not gonna let me tunnel underneath there, is it? Because there happens to be a tunnel underneath there. That one's not gonna work. That one would. Let's try that. Because I'm awkward like that. Bring that one up. Seriously? We're seriously good? Okay, cities, you really don't want to work with me today, do you? Alright, fair enough. Let's just have that area build up. It's not like that many people are going to be using this this train line anyway, so it probably doesn't. Oh, wow, there's a lot of traffic. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic coming this way. And I realize, yeah, there's not going to be a lot going that way. Because it can't. That wasn't my best idea, I'm going to be honest. It really wasn't my best idea. I really need to get that, like a major intersection coming into this side of the city, don't I? And to be honest, it probably would be better if it was this one. Rather than this one. Because that one's kind of neatly in there. Like, that one's really neatly built in there. This one's the one that I made, I think. But yeah, this looks like something I made. Terrible is what it looks. So, yeah, this probably needs to be ripped out at some point. I'll get to that eventually. So there seems to be a reasonable amount of commercial and industrial demand. I think it might be an idea to deal with that in a fairly simple way. I think it might be time to just expand down here a little bit and maybe build a sort of dedicated commercial space right up to the edge of the map there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come off of here with a 4-lane avenue right up to about there, why not? And we'll bring this right across to as close to the highway as we can get it, which is going to be that, which is fairly interesting looking. And then I'm just going to fill in all of this space, basically. That's as simple as it's going to be. Fill that up to there. That's a nice big square. We got some room in here for some zoning as well. So what we'll do is grab ourselves, I'm going to say some grass-lined roads here, just to be a little bit fancier, since it is going to be a bit of a commercial district. It's a bit of a weird spot for a commercial district, because it's right on the edge of the city. That's particularly weird, because really this would be more of a commercial, well, kind of retail park, as opposed to an actual regular district. But like I've said before, every time we've mentioned suburbs, the point here is that we go for density as opposed to anything close to realism. And to be honest, if I do end up continuing this city on beyond the end of the scenario, what I'll probably end up doing is getting the 81 tiles mod, or the 25 tile, whatever it is, the mods that give you more tiles, so I will be able to build out here a little bit further. So that's just another thing that I'd probably be inclined to do should I decide to continue this on beyond the end of the scenario. Although, to be honest, and to be, I guess, completely transparent, which is something I do absolutely believe in being with regards to this channel. I've always been as transparent as I can possibly be. My thinking towards the end of this series is that it might be a better idea to give City Skylines a little bit of a break on the channel and then come back to it a little bit down the line with a new Let's Play or a new creative series or something like that. I do know that recently there were talks of, at some conference or convention coming up soon, I don't know which, there are talks of a new expansion for this game, which is apparently catered towards the veteran players. There's new things with public transport and transportation in general, so I'm very curious to see what that would be all about. Very, very excited for the idea of an expansion for City Skylines catered towards those veteran players, because I like to think of myself as a bit of a veteran player. I've played a lot of this game, so something that's going to make the experience better for someone that's played it as long as I have would be absolutely incredible. But back to what I was saying, I do think it might be an idea to just give the game a little bit of a rest for a little bit, and then come back to it in the not too distant future with, well, something or other. It would either be a creative series, probably a creative series, and then maybe a mini Let's Play when that expansion I was talking about eventually comes out, if it even exists. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but again, I just like to be transparent about these things so it's not a complete, you know, surprise when I decide to go one way or another with the future of a game on the channel. It's just, it's what I would like, basically. If I'm watching a channel and I'm enjoying a game and the person just suddenly makes it disappear, I'm gonna be like, hey, why couldn't you just talk about this? So I figured talking about it's not gonna be the worst possible idea. Anyway, and now that that area over there is building up, I'm hoping to see a little bit more in the way of residential growth across the city. This area in here is actually almost full, to be honest, when you think about where it was at the beginning. The population is now at 220,000 people. We have less than 40,000 people to go until the completion of this scenario. So I'm kind of excited about that. I am noticing, though, that this industrial demand isn't really being filled up despite the, you know, there being plenty of room here for some office zoning. So I'm thinking that might be demand for actual industry. So maybe it would be an idea to just turn all of this space into an industrial zone, which would mean that I need to dezone all of that and all of this as well. And then maybe just rezone that with, I'm going to say commercial. So rezoning that gives us a nice buffer between residential zoning and a new industrial zone, which is, I think, would be a good idea for this space. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go in here with an avenue going up like this to about that spot. And then I think we're just going to branch off of this, to be honest, in a very similar manner to what we've done over here, but I'm not going to connect it up completely. I think connecting up these roads would be a bit of a bad move. So we'll do that kind of thing. And we'll do that kind of thing. And then I think I want to come across between those and then up into the middle here. Just so that, you know, it looks a little bit different. That's kind of what we're going for here. I want it to just look a teensy a little bit different. Now this one's going to be a little different as well, since it can't actually connect up to the avenue there. But that's probably fine. It's also a little bit wider than this one over here, which is kind of annoying actually, but that's fine. So that'll do for a big chunk of industry in there, I guess. Bit of a weird layout, but whatever. We'll do that. We'll do that. Connect those up and bring a road down through the middle just like so. And then just bring this road out to about there. And honestly, that would probably do for a relatively small industrial space. I could maybe bring a road off of there, I reckon. Just sort of like that. And I think that would do the job. I mean, it fills out the space, which is kind of what I was wanting, so... Oh, I just noticed the industrial demand is completely gone, so I guess those offices did in fact fill... Well, these ones filled up as well, but I guess the area did fill itself up a little bit. That's fine, though. I'm not too worried. We can zone this space anyway. I think it would be nice to have another little industrial zone here anyway. So just fill out to there, and we can go ahead and get this zoned. So, let's go ahead and fill out this space, like, let's just zone all of it, and then I'll take out the bits I don't actually want zoned in just a second. So, fill up all of that, and all of that. And then what I don't want is anything along this avenue there. So that all needs to go. And then what I'll do is put some pedestrian paths just going like that, sort of at every corner, so that you can totally walk across into the industrial zone. If you happen to live nearby, you can easily walk to work, which I think is going to be a good thing. And I can also go ahead and throw in some of my parking lots, which I don't think is going to hurt the area whatsoever. So just get me a few of those. I'll throw a couple just in there. I'll throw a couple just in there. And I can get one there, that's fine. So there we go, bunch of parking lots. Looks kind of interesting. What's gonna be fun is that those are technically counted as parks, as we've seen in the past. So people are gonna be quite keen to come and visit my my parking lots. Although I think it looks cool. Once those industrial buildings are up as well, it's going to look even better, because what we're going to have is a bunch of people actually using these to park in and then go to wherever they want to go to. 222,000 people, 144. That's not bad. That's definitely not bad. Interestingly, this guy here doesn't have enough workers. Not enough uneducated workers. Seriously? That seems like a weird problem to have. Because, I mean, there's a lot of uneducated workers nearby. Although, I am realizing that the longer this city exists, the more we're just going to have everyone educated. Because eventually everyone's going to be able to get to school. Same with that, same with the university. Actually, university coverage is remarkably decent, considering we have 3 of them, which isn't actually enough coverage at all. High schools, it's pretty bad, actually. High school coverage is actually some of the worst. So, let's maybe go ahead and add a high school just there to provide some coverage to that area. We can also add a high school to there. Apparently not. What's already? Oh, that's a medical clinic. Okay, so that's why it's not going to let me put a high school there. I can, however, put one there, which is probably pretty decent as well. So that's some new high school coverage to that whole space. Not that we needed it, because we do have the issue with not enough workers, but that's probably fine. Also, I would like to point out, me parking lots happen to be filling up. I am going to slightly incentivize having me parking lots filled up a little bit by turning this road into one with grass on it, because it pushes all the parked cars from the street onto my my parking lots, which I'm going to be honest, I would really appreciate. So we're going to do that. I'm also going to change up the lane connections here at the end, because I have actually slightly customized this. I want you to be able to go only to the right. I want you to be able to go straight on, and you can go left only. That's fine. You can go there. You can go there. And apparently that lane's not getting any use. Interesting. What if you can go there as well, and then you can go like that? That seems fine. And that has had the desired effect by pushing all of the parked cars onto me parking lots, which makes them look even better, and actually makes them look like they're supposed to be there for more than just the sake of filling up the space. I'm kind of happy with this. Also, 223,000 people. We're getting close. We're getting close, and it's exciting. I'm more excited for this than I should be. I will say, it is mostly because I have never successfully completed a scenario in natural disasters, and it's taking me how long to do this one? Well, this is part 27, so let's estimate and say that it's going to be like part 29 or part 30 by the time we get this done. So this scenario has taken a while. Also, oh my god, that traffic. Let's maybe upgrade that road to have more lanes. I think giving it more lanes might be a good idea. Also trees to make it a little bit less miserable. But I'm definitely thinking more lanes is possibly a good idea for that road. So hopefully that'll help a little bit. Hopefully that'll let traffic filter a little bit. I have me doubts, because I know what the traffic AI is like in City Skylines, so... like I said, I have me doubts. But at least this area is filling up. And at least this area here, whilst backing up for no particularly obvious reason, other than a lot of traffic lights, which, to be honest, I could probably turn those off. Those traffic lights are probably not needed, if we're being completely honest. So we'll turn all of those off. Those ones are needed, that's for sure. But these ones probably not so much. And I might also let traffic move into the junction, although that's a really bad thing to do, I suppose. Oh, this is why it's having trouble, because a lot of it wants to merge at the last second and get onto the highway. Alright, fair enough. I see how it is. I see what we're going to be doing. Anyway, ladies and gents, I reckon I'm gonna leave it there for today. Almost 224,000 people. What? We're almost at 35,000 people needed. 35,000 more people. And it's job done. I'm excited. I'm excited to finally complete a scenario. It's been a long time coming. We're already talking about the next expansion for the game, and I'm only just finishing this one. So I don't know if that says, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if that's a good thing for me or the game. You know, the game's like, hey, we hooked you for that long. Or I don't know if it's a bad thing that the game managed to hook me that long and then that I also took this long. I don't know. But I'm having fun. Either way, thank you kind of for watching. This has been City Skylines, Tornado Country, Pepper Lake, Natural Disasters, whatever the hell this video is called. I've apparently completely forgotten. Thank you kind of for watching. If you liked the video, like the video. Don't forget to share it on social media, of course. My god, that's a lot of people. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye! Oh, that's even more people. Look at this! I got so many tourists. 954 of them! Alright, welcome. Move in. Increase my population, please.